So the Cleveland reporters finally asked Dillon Gabriel the narrative that's been spinning around his name. You know, he processed the information completely better than the rest.
Great question, because you always want results, but I think more than anything, it's consistent results. So if you don't have a process you can truly hang your hat on, then you know you're leaving it up to chance, or maybe it's more inconsistent rather than having a strong process. And of course, you know how the game of football goes. There's a lot of positives, there may be some negatives, but there's also something to priding yourself on your process and how you work and how you approach it. And for me, I think you build up that process and you want to see results, and it will come. And definitely know that, like I just said, it's a results-based business, so you got to go do it. And that's why we always talk about no excuses.
Dillon Gabriel just got hit with a brutal wake-up call, and it burns. Shedeur Sanders merch sold out faster than front row Beyonce tickets, and now Dillon's out here fuming like somebody jacked his NIL deal and his lunch in one go. This isn't just a quarterback rivalry anymore, it's an all-out fashion showdown. How did Shedeur go from tossing touchdowns to running the fashion game like he owns the runway? His gear's flying off shelves while Dillon's shirts are sitting there collecting dust like old Blockbuster DVDs nobody remembers. Fans are rocking Shedeur's merch like it's the new uniform of cool, and suddenly, being QB1 isn't about yards. It's about influence, swagger, and who owns the moment. Maybe it's the confidence, maybe it's that icy fade, or maybe it's just Shedeur's whole vibe. Whatever it is, this battle just left the gridiron and crashed into the fashion world. And egos are taking hits harder than linebackers on game day. Picture it. Dillon Gabriel, the Oklahoma star turned Oregon Duck, staring at his phone like it just told him his throwing motion needs therapy. The headlines are savage. The stats are worse, and the fans, they've spoken loud and clear. Shedeur Sanders' merch disappeared faster than Coachella tickets in a panic, while Dillon's gear is sitting lonely in a dusty warehouse next to Beanie Babies and expired Gatorade. What a wild twist. It wasn't supposed to play out like this. Dillon had the hype, the big transfer, the flashy playbook, and that whole Instagram influencer glow going for him, even if half his followers might just be bots from Jakarta. He thought this was his moment to flex both on and off the field. When Dillon dropped his merch, he acted like it was about to be the off-white X Nike of college football, the drop that would break the internet. But instead, it flopped harder than a gas station hoodie after a thunderstorm. Then comes Shedeur Sanders, the man, the myth, the legend in the making, Coach Prime's son, dripping with confidence and walking around like he just invented swagger itself. But here's the thing, Shedeur didn't just release merch, he unleashed a movement. Limited edition hoodies, snapbacks that carried more confidence than half the NIL deals out there, and shirts that practically screamed, "I'm better than your quarterback," and your therapist knows it. His line didn't just sell, it evaporated, gone in minutes like concert tickets on payday. Meanwhile, Dillon's drop, let's just say his mom bought 2 hoodies out of love, then asked for a refund when they arrived. You can feel Dillon's frustration through the Wi-Fi, like he just realized his fantasy team drafted 4 kickers and a punter. That's absolutely wild. But you know what? The only thing that went viral wasn't the merch. It was the comment section, and man, it was brutal. People were letting Dillon have it like it was open season online. Now let's talk design, because Shedeur's merch, it looks like it was dreamed up by Virgil Abloh himself after a wild night out in Miami. It's pure streetwear swagger. Fashion that flexes without even trying. Every piece looks like it belongs on a runway and on the field at the same time. Dillon's line, on the other hand, it's giving high school pep rally meets regional insurance seminar vibes. One of his shirts literally says, "Grit and grind," in Comic Sans. Comic Sans. Somewhere, a graphic designer just fainted straight into their iced coffee. And this isn't just about shirts or hoodies anymore. This is about branding. Shedeur is the brand. He walks into a room and Wi-Fi signals get stronger. He talks and sunglasses just magically appear on people's faces. The man doesn't hold press conferences. He hosts red carpets. That's a whole different level of confidence. Meanwhile, poor Dillon's out here trying to get noticed like the middle kid at a family reunion. 5 people showed up and 2 were his burner accounts. The merch market has spoken, loud, clear, and savage. Fans want Shedeur, not some dry fit discount tee with a motivational quote that sounds like it came out of a vending machine fortune. The streets have decided who's got the real sauce, and it's definitely not Dillon right now. Some people say Dillon took the loss personally. Others say he took it way too personally. Word around the locker room is wild. Teammates claim he started showing up to practice in full Shedeur gear. Hoodie, cap, even the limited edition kicks. Said it was for research. Sure, bro, but a few players swear they caught him practicing his autograph with an extra S in his last name, like he was trying to manifest becoming a Sanders. Then came the rebrand. Dillon tried to flip the narrative with a new logo, DG, the dual threat. He even dropped a full-blown music video complete with smoke machines, dramatic lighting, and slow-motion football spirals. But the internet wasn't buying it. One fan commented, "I'd buy that shirt just to wipe down my car." Ouch. Meanwhile, Shedeur's keychains were reselling for $50 a pop, and fans were lining up like it was Black Friday at Best Buy. It got so insane that one woman reportedly traded her wedding ring for a Shedeur beanie, and her husband...
Rookie quarterback that should get the start for their team would be?
Guys, Shedeur Sanders, this is a no-brainer.
Really?
Wait, Jeff, I want you to take some copious notes here. Since 2000, there's only been 6 quarterbacks start a game under 6 feet tall. That's Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, P.J. Walker, Seneca Wallace, and Doug Flutie. Exactly. So to me, even though Dillon Gabriel won in the 3rd round, I would start Shedeur Sanders, let him fight it out on the field, but to me, Shedeur Sanders has the better pro body and more of an upside.
I promise every...
Didn't even argue. That's not merch anymore. That's a movement. I get it, one fan said. That's loyalty. Meanwhile, Dillon's out here grinding, trying everything to stay in the game. He started hosting raffles like, buy one shirt, get a chance to win a personal FaceTime. But the only person he ended up FaceTiming was his cousin, and she hung up halfway through to answer a call from her dentist. That's pain in HD. While Dillon was out there begging for clicks and sympathy sales, Shedeur Sanders was busy living the superstar lifestyle. He's out here dropping collabs with NBA players, landing on magazine covers, and reportedly turning down a reality show because, quote, it didn't match his aesthetic. That's a different level of cool right there. And speaking of that aesthetic, it's simple. 70% gold chains, 30% effortless domination. The man shines like he was born inside a jewelry commercial. Cameras don't capture him. They bow to him. Dillon tried to clap back the only way he knew how, with heart. He gave this emotional locker room speech about brotherhood, perseverance, and how it's not about who sells the most hoodies, but who leaves everything on the field. It was heartfelt, it was deep, some players even teared up. Then they all walked out and bought Shedeur socks. You know it's bad when even the water boy strolls past you wearing Shedeur slides like he's part of the brand. Shedeur's merch isn't just hot, it's historic. His hoodies are being flipped online for 5 times the original price. One worn Shedeur hoodie just sold on eBay for $400 and came with a handwritten apology from an Alabama fan. That's not just merch, that's modern day gold. At this point, the hype is out of control. Shedeur's name isn't just trending, it's taking over. Everywhere you look, it's Sanders this, Sanders that, like he just dropped the mixtape of the decade. Reporters are chasing him through airports, college kids are camping outside merch drops, and brands are begging to get a single repost. He's turned college football into a lifestyle brand. And Dillon, he's watching it all happen from the sidelines, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Behind the scenes, teammates say you can feel the tension. Dillon's quiet now, too quiet. One guy claimed he caught him scrolling through Shedeur's Instagram at 2 a.m., zooming in on the comment section like he was studying for finals. Coaches are trying to keep the peace, but everyone knows this isn't just competition anymore, it's an identity crisis. And Shedeur, he's not even breaking a sweat. The man walks into practice wearing his own face on a hoodie. Custom, limited edition, unreleased. The whole team stops mid-drill just to stare. That's dominance without saying a word. Fans are already calling it the merch war, saying it's bigger than any game on the schedule. Sports talk shows are arguing over who won the off-field battle, while Dillon's trying to prove he still runs the on-field one. But deep down, everyone knows. The scoreboard's already decided. Shedeur's not just winning games, he's winning the culture. And once you've got the culture, the rest follows. The fame, the money, the legacy, it's all in his hands now. And just when people thought it couldn't get crazier, boom, Shedeur drops a teaser for his next merch line, and the internet basically explodes. A 15-second clip with 0 words, just slow motion highlights, gold lighting, and that iconic S2 logo flashing like a crown. Fans lost their minds instantly, comments flooding in like, take my money, drop the link, and this man's the future. Within hours, hashtags like Shedeur season and Sanders style were trending nationwide. Meanwhile, Dillon's camp is in full panic mode. His team scrambles to push a redemption drop, but let's be real, the hype train already left the station. One insider said Dillon's group chat looked like a disaster movie, texts flying, people arguing, and one guy straight up quitting the campaign mid-thread. It's chaos disguised as strategy. Shedeur, though, cool as ever. He posts one story, a photo of him lounging on a rooftop wearing his own unreleased gear, captioned, stay tuned. No hashtags, no captions, just confidence. The man doesn't chase attention, it chases him. Even celebrities are getting involved now. NBA stars, rappers, influencers, everyone's rocking Shedeur merch like it's the hottest luxury brand on the market. Dillon's merch team tried to clap back by sponsoring a local car wash, but fans joked it was the only place his shirts were getting any shine. At this point, it's more than football. It's a takeover. Shedeur's building an empire while Dillon's still trying to protect the logo. And if this is just the warm-up, the next chapter's about to shake college football and pop culture at the same time. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Reports started leaking that Shedeur's merch team was in talks with a major luxury brand for an official collab. We're talking high-end, designer-level stuff. Rumors said Louis Vuitton, others whispered Balenciaga, but one thing was certain. This was no longer just college football. It was a full-blown fashion empire in motion. Fans started saying, Coach Prime raised a quarterback and a CEO. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Meanwhile, Dillon's world kept spiraling. He dropped a motivational vlog called The Grind Don't Stop, trying to win fans back. But people only watched it for the comments. One viewer wrote,
Cleveland Browns QB situation is absolutely strange. It's very, very weird. But also what's weird is this report about Shedeur Sanders in the CFL. The Toronto Argonauts of the CFL have added Shedeur Sanders to their negotiation list per TSN. The Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders, but in the event that Sanders decided to pursue an opportunity to play in the CFL, the Argonauts have the first choice to acquire him. That is wild. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Bro, the grind already stopped. And another said, should have grinded the merch instead. The man can't catch a break, and it's starting to show on and off the field. Inside sources claim even the locker room split, half rocking Shedeur gear like it's team uniform. The other half, too scared to pick a side. One player said, wearing Dillon's merch feels like showing up to a party with no invite. That's brutal. And Shedeur, he's leaning into it. At practice, he showed up in gold cleats with his own initials engraved. Cameras caught it, the clip hit social media, and boom, another viral moment. Every move he makes turns into content. Every photo becomes an ad. Every quote becomes a headline. The line between athlete and icon is gone. Shedeur's crossed it completely. He's redefining what it means to be a college star, while Dillon's stuck trying to stop the bleeding. And the craziest part, we all know Shedeur's just getting started. Meanwhile, Dillon's shirts, they're not exactly flying off shelves, more like fueling the pregame bonfire. Word is, some fans are literally using them as tailgate fire starters. So Dillon tried to pivot again, dropping a brand new line called Legacy in Progress. Sounds powerful, right? But the designs? Man, it looks like something a freshman whipped up after discovering Canva for the first time. The main shirt features a quarterback silhouette, mid-pick six. Talk about foreshadowing. You can't make this stuff up. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, some prankster at Oregon printed Shedeur greater than Dillon stickers and plastered them all over the locker room. Brutal. Dillon tried to play it cool, peeled the sticker off his locker and slapped it on his water bottle instead. Ironies never hit harder. Coaches tried to keep him motivated, calling him a leader, an asset, and the kind of guy every team needs. Sweet words, right? But then they all went and posted selfies wearing Shedeur's merch. Even the strength coach got caught in 4K, rocking a limited edition hoodie and dyeing his beard platinum frost to match it. That's next level betrayal. At the next team fundraiser, one donor actually dropped $5,000 just to keep Dillon's merch off the shelves. The donation note straight up said, let the man focus on football. Savage. Still, bless his heart, Dillon keeps trying, keeps believing, keeps posting, keeps hashtagging #rise and grind. But lately, that grind's looking more like rising resentment, because every time Shedeur drops a new clothing line, Dillon drops another tear right into his protein shake. Dillon forced a smile, that kind of tight, practiced grin that hides a storm of pain behind perfectly rehearsed, I'll bounce back energy. You could almost feel the heartbreak under that fake confidence. Meanwhile, Shedeur, cool as ice, not a flinch, not a worry. The man's out here handing out signed footballs to fans rocking his merch at rival stadiums like he's running his own halftime show. One kid literally burst into tears just from meeting him. Another said, I'm never washing again. It wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. Dillon tried the same play once, gave away a signed jersey to a fan after the game. The fan smiled, nodded, then used it to wipe mustard off his hot dog. Pain, pure, unfiltered pain. So in one final act of pride, Dillon decided to go all in. He set up a pop-up merch shop outside the stadium. No hype, no music, no line, just him, a couple folding tables, and a single tumbleweed rolling by. Wearing a Shedeur cap, you can't make that up. Desperate, Dillon called his dad for advice, hoping for a miracle. His dad sighed and said, son, maybe try accounting. or podcasting, or heck, TikTok dancing. Anything but merch. That one hit deep. The tagline, close enough to greatness to see it from here. Poetic and painfully honest. Still, give Dillon some credit. The man keeps showing up every game day, helmet on, eyes locked in, blocking out all the merch drama and online noise. Because say what you will, he's still slinging passes, still moving the chains, still chasing that dream like it's the only thing keeping him breathing. But somewhere deep in the lonely corners of the internet, buried under endless discount codes and clearance tags, one of his shirts finally sold. A tiny spark of hope until reality hit even harder. Turns out, a group of freshman interns at the campus bookstore mistook his unsold merch for giveaway stock. They stacked the boxes right next to the lost and found flip-flops and a dusty bin of 2017 fidget spinners.
First of all, I don't hate Dillon Gabriel. When you're assessing him as a quarterback in the National Football League, I tell the truth, he's a scrub. If I'm assessing him during the college football situations, then he's a game manager. That's not a diss. Alex Smith was the #1 pick. He was an overrated game manager, but I still liked him too. But I don't see Dillon as an NFL caliber. The embarrassment for these reporters to bring out and talk about this processing information. I've been hearing it a lot and I've been reluctant to talk about it, but let's talk about it since Dillon Gabriel is out here.
One intern even whispered, "Wow, vintage." That one stung worse than a sack on 3rd and long. And just when Dillon thought rock bottom couldn't sink any lower, boom, Shedeur struck again. Out of nowhere, he dropped a fragrance line. The promo, straight up Hollywood level. Slow motion walk through a storm. Thunder rumbling, an eagle screaming in the distance, and Shedeur launching a football into the sun while a deep voice growls, "Dominate your destiny." It wasn't just a commercial, it was a statement. While Dillon's shirts were being mistaken for giveaways, Shedeur was out here turning cologne into motivation. The crowd went absolutely crazy, and there was Dillon, just standing there, staring at the massive screen like he just realized destiny might have blocked his number. You could see it in his face, that mix of awe, defeat, and how did it come to this? Meanwhile, Dillon's marketing team tried to clap back. They posted a boomerang of him tying his shoelaces. That's it. That was the entire promo. Hard to make noise when your rival's ad looks like it was directed by Christopher Nolan and yours looks like it was shot by your roommate on an iPhone 8 with a cracked lens. The difference was brutal, cinematic versus cafeteria level content. And just when it couldn't get any more humiliating, even Dillon's dog got caught up in the Shedeur takeover. Not on purpose, though. The neighbor's kid dropped a Shedeur hoodie in Dillon's yard. But man, the symbolism hit deep. That dog strutted around proudly, tail wagging like it had just joined Team Prime. Dillon tried to laugh it off, but you could tell that one cut right to the soul. At one point, he even tried to sneak into the Shedeur fan base, liking posts, dropping subtle emojis, trying to blend in, but it was hopeless. Those fans have loyalty like a cult and radar sharper than airport security. And just to twist the knife, a brand new 60-foot billboard of Shedeur popped up over campus, him flexing in his signature hoodie, captioned in bold letters, "Icon status confirmed." Every time Dillon drives past it, that billboard isn't just towering, it's taunting. Every morning, Dillon drove past that massive Shedeur billboard and swore he could hear it laughing. It haunted him like a ghost in high definition. Before long, the whole thing turned into a meme across campus. Students started posing under it while wearing Dillon's merch, ironically of course, and called it reverse clout. One dude even went viral after proposing to his girlfriend while rocking a Dillon hoodie. She said yes, but definitely to the ring, not the hoodie. Things only got worse when that same hoodie got set on fire during the after party. Straight up tragic. But desperate times call for desperate branding, and Dillon wasn't going down without a fight. His next campaign dropped with the tagline, "Built Different," and it came with dramatic piano music, slow motion shots of him bench pressing sadness, and a cinematic pan across a closet full of unsold hats. It was supposed to be powerful, but people just felt emotional for all the wrong reasons. Spoiler alert, it flopped. Sales stayed flatter than a Midwest highway. But to his credit, Dillon didn't quit. He came back swinging with a self-made mini documentary series called The Comeback Chronicles. Total views, 5, and 3 of them were just him refreshing the page.
I feel bad for Dillon Gabriel. No matter what this man does in Cleveland, no matter what, he will always be overshadowed by Shedeur Sanders as long as they're both there. I don't care if he comes out here and he wins the starting job. He has one bad game. Guess what they're going to say? Guess what the media is going to say? Shedeur should play. Put Shedeur in the game. Gabriel got drafted 2 rounds ahead of Shedeur. 2 rounds ahead of him. I mean, it shouldn't have happened, but 2 rounds ahead of him. And he's going to come in, and there's no chance in this world that he's higher than Shedeur on the depth chart.
Still, you can't knock the man's hustle. He started doing motivational talks in classrooms, telling kids, never give up, even when your merch ends up in the 99-cent bin. Then it happened, the moment that broke Dillon's spirit in half. During one of his motivational talks, a brave kid raised his hand and asked, "Is it true your hoodies shrink in the wash?" The room went silent. Dillon froze, blinked twice, mumbled something about quality control, and quietly walked out, never to return. That's heartbreak with extra salt. A week later, the campus pep rally rolled around. They held a vote for most likely to go pro. No surprise, Shedeur won by a landslide. Poor Dillon. He got most likely to start a podcast called Nobody Believed in Me. Even the mascot voted against him. That's how you know it's bad. His teammates tried to stay supportive, tossing pity compliments his way like, "You're grinding, bro!" and "That mustard stain kinda looks like a logo." One guy even joked that Dillon should collab with the campus cafeteria and brand his merch as durable napkins. The disrespect was unreal. Then came the Campus Fashion Club's annual QB drip-off. Shedeur didn't even bother showing up. His merch walked the runway by itself. That's how iconic it's become. The man's brand literally has a life of its own. Dillon showed up in full gear, tried to do a confident runway spin, and the crowd thought it was part of a halftime comedy act. The laughter echoed louder than the music. Cameras caught it. TikTok ran wild. And by midnight, it was trending under hashtag QB. But make it sad. Later that week, one of Shedeur's hoodies sold for $1,000 on eBay. And it came with a QR code linking to a cinematic hype video featuring dolphins, flames, and Shedeur riding a golden scooter through a sunset. Straight up movie level flexing. Then came the notification that crushed what was left of Dillon's soul. A new review on his merch site. 2 stars. The comment read, "Shirt felt like sadness. That one hurt deep." You could almost hear the heartbreak echo through the Wi-Fi. But here's the crazy part. For all the memes, the roasting, and the non-stop clowning, there's still something kind of noble about Dillon's grind. He doesn't quit. He keeps showing up, keeps creating, keeps believing that one day, someone, somewhere, will wear his hoodie, not ironically, not out of pity, but because they actually like it. Not even after the campus radio roasted his merch line for 3 straight hours. Not after pranksters slapped giant clearance sale stickers all over his locker. Not even after he ran a giveaway, 5 hoodies up for grabs, and the winner messaged back, "No thanks." Still, Dillon refused to fold. In a last-ditch rebrand attempt, he grew a mustache, calling it his new image. Within minutes, someone commented, "You look like a substitute teacher who gives out worksheets in trauma." The man shaved it off the next day. Brutal doesn't even cover it. Meanwhile, Shedeur's empire just kept expanding. Hats, slides, cologne, and even branded water. Yeah, Shedeur water, marketed as hydration that wins. Who does that? And somehow, it sold out in hours. The dude turned H2O into a business model. Dillon tried to clap back online, tweeting, "Launching mine next." It's called Tears. The tweet got 3 likes. One was from his backup kicker, another from a bot, and the third from his mom. Pain. Then the next gut punch landed. Shedeur dropped a remix of the School Fight song on Spotify. It was fire. Bass booming, vocals clean, production on point. Within 24 hours, it hit 100,000 streams. The beat hit harder than a 4th quarter blitz, pure fire. The swagger, untouchable. Before long, half the campus was chanting Shedeur's name like he was headlining Coachella. The man had officially transcended football. He was a full-blown icon. But then came the final straw. A sweet old grandma on campus, rocking a Shedeur scarf, stopped Dillon mid-walk and said, "I hope you make it in something else, sweetheart." That one broke his soul clean in half. You could see it in his eyes, that deep pain mixed with quiet acceptance. It wasn't just a roast anymore, it was reality setting in. And yet, through every roast, every flop, every piece of merch collecting dust in clearance bins, Dillon still shows up. Not for fame, not for followers, and definitely not for the money. He plays because deep down, he still believes. Not that he'll ever outsell Shedeur. He's not delusional, but that maybe, just maybe, one day someone will wear his hoodie without apologizing for it. In a world full of gold chains, sold-out drops, and viral hype, Dillon stands as the unshakable underdog. Slightly bitter, fully broke, but still fighting. Because even if the world won't buy his merch, the game still hasn't bought him out. And that's something no billboard, no brand, and no highlight reel can take away. So if you felt this story, the rise, the heartbreak, the grind that never quits, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share it with someone who knows what it's like to keep fighting when nobody's watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories like this, and I'll see you on the next one.